Okay, this is my review, and it will be a non-spoiler of the movie Morbius. And this film was also produced by Sony Pictures, and obviously it's a spin-off of the from Spider-Man. Now, for those of you who probably already know, or probably do already know, that Morbius in the comics is part of the is part of Spider-Man in the comics. Obviously, this film came out in 2022, and it stars Gerald Leto and Matt Smith, who you will know as playing Doctor Who at one point. Now, this tells the story of, obviously they tell us in a flashback of a boy who's got this rare disease, and then he meets another young boy who has a very similar disease as well, and then he vows that he's going to find a cure. The movie then fast forwards many years later, where the character Morbius ends up becoming a scientist, and then obviously he wants to sit there to try to find a cure for him and then this little girl, and then obviously his friend. He then realizes that that he might be able to find the cure from vampire bats. So then he obviously experiments with mice with his assistant, and then obviously things don't work out, but then they do work. So then he performs it on himself. Obviously can't perform it in his laboratory because obviously it's highly illegal. And then with disastrous results with him being cured, but then the side effect is that he needs blood, obviously like a vampire. So then he has to use he then prefers to, obviously because they're trying to make this more friendly compared to the comics, he then uses artificial blood. And then obviously there are murders that start to happen, and then he's blamed for the deaths of the some of the people who have been killed. But then obviously, like, there's a twist as to how they're being murdered. Again, I don't want to kind of completely spoil it unless you kind of want to see it. Obviously, this leads to a showdown, and then obviously he wins at the end. Not without a loss, or is there a loss? So yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit as vague as possible because again, I don't want to kind of spoil the kind of movie. Now, I didn't see this in the cinema. The movie was on Sky Cinema, so I watched it on there. And my thoughts are, I'll start off with the positives. The special effects, the slow motion special effects that they did in broad daylight, I thought were really good in broad daylight. And then one of the best things of the movie was the actor Matt Smith. You can really tell that he was having fun with the actual role. So that was so his role was really great, and pretty much that's about it. In general, although I'm a Marvel fan and in general comic book fan, I wasn't a big fan of the actual movie. The movie is not kind of very long, and I did feel that especially with the editing, that they were chopping bits were like kind of chopped out of the actual movie. So it left the movie feeling kind of very disjointed, where parts of the story, it felt like to me that it wasn't kind of given an explanation or character development with certain characters in the actual movie. It just felt like there were bits of it that were kind of like obviously that were missing. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it was just the poor editing, but that's how it felt to me. The story kind of me wasn't kind of great. I understand the intentions of the character trying to find a cure. Obviously, this is similar to Bruce Banner, obviously trying to find a cure. Obviously, from in the original '80s series with trying to find a cure. But to me, that did it a hell of a lot better and a lot more entertaining and more kind of sympathetic in the way they did that construction of that series. The cops in the actual movie, they had to be the most thickest cops that I've ever seen, and they were barely kind of in, and they're kind of like very stupid. Again, I wish I could kind of delve into as to why. I mean, it felt almost as if that they were completely pointless and didn't serve anything to the actual story of the actual movie. So I mean, I don't know what the point of those of the cops in the actual movie were. The special effects, where I have praised it, obviously praised it in a way, is a double-edged sword, because the special effects to me do look good in broad daylight, but then when they do the special effects in dark, in dark areas of the movie, it's very difficult to see what's going on in the movie. And I think they made whoever it was that decided to do that was made, to me, a very poor decision in doing that, because it's so confusing. Because obviously you see two cats fighting out in the dark, and you can barely, you can't even recognise as to what's kind of happening in the actual movie, leading it to be very confusing and not getting it, and then not getting you kind of enticed into the actual fight scenes. So that kind of for me kind of spoiled it. So as I said before, with those kind of things, it was for me a double-edged sword with the special effects. There are some dumb things that happen in the end with certain characters, where all I can say is that a character at the end is just left, and to me that just seemed a bit stupid, because if you cared about a particular character, I'd leave them there, even after what particularly happened, to me was a bit stupid. And especially after you see what happens with the said soul character, which I don't want want to give away. That was a bit stupid. There are two post-credit scenes which weren't kind of great. Now, I don't know if they're gonna make a sequel to the particular film, because I don't know how well it did in the box office. But if they kind of do decide to, I mean, I hope they do like a better job with the special effects and the actual character, flesh out the character and the actual storyline, because this kind of like wasn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not fantastic either. So yeah, I mean, it's one of these movies where I'm kind of going to kind of forget and not remember. So yeah, that's my review of Morbius. I hope people enjoyed this review. I'm trying to do more movie reviews. There'll be like a mixture of old and new, but I'll probably only do them when I kind of feel like it, because I don't want to become like a movie expert, because there are loads of other YouTubers that do a far better job than what I do. But you know, it's something that I would like to do once in a while, just to shake things up a little bit. So anyway, feel free to like and to share this video, because it also helps people find me on YouTube, because obviously the YouTube algorithms, being a small time YouTuber, if you already haven't, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I also have a Twitch channel as well, which I don't do as much but on there, but I'm trying to really get back in there, and I will put that in the description box. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care, bye for now, and stay safe.